Whoa, it's Wulzy. Welcome back to another form request video. I've swapped it up from the orange a little bit. Let me know if you like the blue better. Just thought I would give it a bit of a change. But we're going to be going into Dobleshka Effect by Winter as the first level of the day. Pretty dynamic so far. Lots of movements, lots of nice black to white pulses, or white to black. Eased in by the multiple different shades of colours. Ooh, that was a little bit confusing to see what I do there, but it's pretty basic so far. There's not much design, but it's very clean. There's a couple of structures that are a little bit difficult to see because they use multiple different types of opacities. It's just very basic so far. Hopefully it gets a bit more complex as the level goes on. Oh my goodness, this is quite a clustered spider part. There's a lack of structures here by using the line blocks. It leaves big empty spaces at the top and bottom of the screen. A little bit difficult to fill. This part's also a little bit static compared to the beginning. Doesn't really fit in with the rest of the level in my opinion. Ooh, a little bit more movement here. This one's a bit more clean. There's a bit more detail covering every part of the screen. This part's decent. There could be a bit more creative pulses instead of just the outlines. The parts in the blocks could maybe pulse too, but hopefully this drop improves the level a little bit. Okay, this is a much different style that we've seen so far. Multicolored instead of having one distinct colour scheme. Not sure if I'm liking that. It's also a lot more empty than the rest. There's lots of empty spaces, relying on this glow, sort of flashy style to fill in the space here. The effect on the block design is pretty cool, but the rest of the level doesn't really use an effect on the blocks. And I've kind of just skipped gameplay here. I'm kind of intrigued to see how far I can get. Oh no, there's a wall that kills you. At least it's well made. It's just a little bit empty in this part. Hopefully this is remedied here. Just another sort of multicolour style. You can fly. Okay. Interesting. Oh, well, that wasn't interesting. Bit of a whack transition. Why is that text come up? That's really off-putting. Pretty cool colours, honestly, but this level's a bit of a mismatch overall. Just got a lot of random parts that don't fit in. And again, we're back to this sort of design style with less colours on display. Not saturated at all. You know, it's just a bit of a weird level. Doesn't really tie together. Interesting, but not very cohesive at all. Feel like it was a bit random at times. Future Leaper by Hungry Hamburger using Time Leaper by Hinkick. Very, very classic song right here. A little bit empty again. Cool piano background, but I feel like I've seen it before. There's not much that's tying this together really, it's just a bunch of floating objects, and this part doesn't fit in either. This is a recurrent theme of this episode so far, that the parts just don't fit in with each other. It's a decent attempt to design, but there's not enough details to make it all go together, you know? It's all just very separated, like the blocks are very different to the decoration. And there needs to be more decoration to tie it all together instead of it just being like different. I also need to break the habit of spamming checkpoints. I got screamed out in the comments in another video for doing that, so I'm trying not to. This is quite empty as well. Bit of a rushed end. But yeah, pretty cool. Could definitely be polished here and there to fill in the space a lot more effectively. Not something I want to send. Now we've got Jackpot by Hungry Hamburger using a fat rat jackpot. Couldn't have guessed. Oh goodness. That movement was very, very sudden. Probably just because it was at the very beginning of the level. But this is a very stylistic sort of piece right here. And yet again, it just goes into completely different style. I was expecting to see some more of that style, like a bit more progression, you know, introduce a bit of colour. But instead I got greeted with a design level with some questionable gameplay. These movements are super, super quick and they don't give you enough time to react really. Designs themselves aren't really that bad, it's just the way that they're used with the decoration that doesn't really work very well in my opinion. The structures are a bit random, they're leaving big open spaces when they're not filled. Oh my goodness, jewel section. Again, it's another very random level, all of a sudden you're using custom orbs, so I missed them the first time. But yeah, there's a lot of black space, there's a lot of open space at times. The structures are just in little boxes, you know. There's space up here, that just isn't filled. So I'm not going to send this one either. I think that's another 6-star. Not sure, but we're going to move on. This is something I have already sent. Nice. Affinity by Floxme, using Back Around by 90 Miles. Let's just get straight into this. Okay, this is a lot more clean than the other levels that we've played so far. The top structures could be extended upwards to fill in that space at the top, but this is super nice. I'm loving how the glow is used. There's a lot of shades of the same color. There's a great mix of black and white that isn't overdone. There's some really nice movements here. This is something that I'm definitely going to send because it just looks brilliant. Nice smooth movements on the custom borders too. Lots of dynamic aspects like the pulsing beams. I'm spamming checkpoints again, I need to stop doing that. The gameplay is very clear to read. I can see exactly where I'm going. This is awesome. It's a little monochromatic. I'm never really a fan of the orange fire in the bottom, but I think it's very subtle in this and it works very well. Oh my. That was a very quick transition. Oh, this kind of ramped up in difficulty, but it should be alright. The ship transitions are a bit wonky, but other than that, this level is very, very easy to sight read and play. Quite a charming level overall. A little bit repetitive in the end. I'm going to beat it just to see if I notice it the second time round how repetitive everything seems to be. There could definitely be some variation here and there because it is quite samey all the way through. The designs look the exact same, like how the outlines are formatted, the 3D dark, you know, the glow on the edges of the blocks. It's the same all the way through. But this is definitely something that could get rated because it is quite nice to play. It's very whole, you know, it's using the same style all the way through. And the designs are actually pretty decent. Boom, got past the jewel part. Kind of baby-proofed in that ship section. Maybe the transition could be improved a little bit, but I enjoyed that. That's going to be the first send of today. I am going to give this a 5-star feature. There you go. Alright, we've got Hydration by Exilum using dual-core endorphins. Oh my, this is a song and a half. I can't wait to get into this. It's a demon as well, so this is going to be super duper intense. Oh my, this is super glowy and atmospheric. There's lots of dark spaces that aren't looking bland, you know. It's not too overbearing. Nice moving particles there to like symbolize braking. Pretty cool. This gameplay is a little bit jank so far, unless it's just too difficult for me. Very dark at the top there when you have to hit that green orb too. Oh my, this is super clustered with designs, and that's a buggy checkpoint. Great. See how dark that green orb is? You can barely even see it. This transition is not liking the checkpoint right now. I've done it again. Yep. I'm really liking the pulses so far. There's lots of dynamic details, such as the black particles that go down on the breaking sort of sound effects in the song. There's lots of pulses, lots of movements. Really, really good atmosphere, and I think that's a color filter above, a blending screen above to make everything look nice and related to itself. This is really awesome so far. Maybe that transition was a little bit empty, but these designs are super clean and crisp. I'm really liking how this is looking. Super, super fast paced. Maybe this part's a little bit static, but I'm really enjoying how this is all coming together. Every part does link in together, even if it doesn't use the same kind of glow. Just by the color schemes and the way that the gameplay is moving. The structure types are also pretty similar, although they are varied in this part with a lot more colors. Nice, he's got his little end screen here. This is indeed a demon send. This is a pretty nice level. Couldn't really get to it myself, but I've seen Jakob's verification video. Although it might be a little bit laggy, I think it looks brilliant. Ventura by Team Odyssey, X-Core and Natura Alien. Love a bit of X-Core. Let's see how this goes. This is an XL. Oh my. Block design's kind of bland, but I'm really liking the colours on this so far. Has some pretty nice gameplay too, although I am struggling with it because it is quite difficult. This video is by Stormfly. Subscribe to him. I'm going to like the video. Just having a quick look right here. I don't think my recording software is taking very lightly to this YouTube video, but this is looking pretty good so far. It is a little bit empty in parts like these, which inclines me to send it for a rate because it's not very consistent, but I appreciate the length. Pretty nice variation overall though. There's lots of different colours used. There's lots of different uses of glow, and it clearly shows how creators have evolved in skill since 1.9, but I can't drop the standards of rating just because it's a 1.9 level. I feel like more effort could have been put into the actual quality of the level instead of... I do like the look of it though. I think I'm going to send this for a race just because it is quite empty in parts like this where there's big gaps at the top and bottom. And there you have it. Alright, here is the last level that we are going to be playing in this video. Digital Chaos by QLED. Let's go. Digital Mayhem by Acid Notation. Whoa, all the decoration disappeared for a second there. but this looks like it's going to be another video. A little bit empty at times, but this is pretty nice. It's very clean. Hoping to see a few more structures because this part is kind of just spammed with ground spikes. It is quite clustered at times too. I wasn't really a fan of that overlay. Didn't really fit in with the whole clean visuals of the level up to this point. And there's also a lot of empty spaces where structures don't fill. Again, with those rectangle blocks, there's often space left underneath or above, depending on which way you look at it. I feel like in order to make it more interesting, the custom background could also be moving just to fill in the extra spaces that it just doesn't get to the way it is, because it's very patchy. It's very static as well. There's barely any movement or pulses. It's kind of dormant. I said kind of twice in the same sentence. Wow, amazing English. And there you have it. That is the end of this form request video. Not going to send this, although it was pretty fun to play. It was quite clean. Thank you for watching this form request video. Join the Discord server linked in the description if you want to request a level onto this series. And yeah, thank you very much. I'll see you next time. Have a good day.